Barbie tings, yeah. Barbie tings, that's Barbie tings, yeah. Barbie tings, that's Barbie tings, yeah. Barbie dream house, Barbie rings, yeah. Barbie beach house, Barbie bins, yeah. Barbie white picket, Barbie fence. All tea, all shade, be all offense. If you ever try to confiscate Barbie skin, yeah. I mean, I don't even have to say too much because you know the look is giving. Okay, you know the skin is giving. You know, let's just get into the video before I continue to gloat about myself, okay? Welcome to the Barbie Life 2.0 podcast. I'm your host, Shakira, aka Barbie 2.0. And yes, you guessed it. We will be discussing Nicki Minaj today. And the reason why I wanted to talk about Miss Queen Nicki was because I feel like for the past decade, Nicki Minaj has been painted as some horrible person and a huge villain in the female rap industry. And if you really do a deep dive in a lot of the beefs that she had with the other female rappers, you'll come to realize that Nicki was not wrong for cutting ties with a lot of other female rappers in the game. And, you know, female rap unity has been a continuous conversation, even though it's literally fake, because I don't think female rap unity exists at all. But everybody talks about female rap unity and how Nicki is not for it, when in reality, all the female rappers are not for female rap unity. So I wanted to get into some of the beefs that Nicki has had and just kind of do a deep dive so we really understand why Nicki cut ties with these people and why Nicki has trust issues and why she's a lone soldier in the industry. So with that being said, let's dive right in, okay? So the first person I want to get into is Remy Ma. Now, for those of you who are unaware, Remy Ma is a dark-skinned female rapper from New York, okay? And after she got out of jail, she started releasing a lot of hits and features that were getting on the charts and making the streets sing, okay? I don't know if y'all remember Go All The Way Up, hey, all the way up, all the way up. Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. But she was doing her thing, okay? And the media decided to pin her against Nicki Minaj a lot. And the reason that the media was doing this is because in female rap, there's kind of this culture where only one female rapper can be at the top. And we don't really allow multiple female rappers to win at the same time, okay? If you look at the male rap industry, we have people like Drake and Kendrick and J. Cole who are all winning, and they're all considered legends and icons and kings, okay? In their own right. But when it comes to female rap, it's like only one person can be the queen or only one person can be on top. So the minute Remy Ma started making hits and she was hitting the charts and making the streets sing, the media started to pin her against the queen, Nicki Minaj, because now it was them two fighting for the throne. But Remy Ma always denied any claims that she was beefing with Nicki Minaj or that she had a problem with Nicki. Anytime interviewers would try to be messy and try to get her to say something bad about Nicki, she would always say this:
Nicki Minaj never did anything to me. There's no reason for me to sub her. I think that's corny. I think when people feel like, to get on or to get people to pay attention to them, they go at somebody that never did nothing to them.
So for the most part, she always showed Nicki love, and she always said that she never had a beef with Nicki. Then randomly, one day, Remy drops a 7-minute diss track to Nicki Minaj. And everybody was so confused because up until that point, she was always showing love to Nicki and always saying that Nicki never did anything to her and she always shows her love and they never had any issues. So a lot of people were confused of where this 7-minute diss track came from. And it didn't stop there, because Remy Ma literally went on a whole tirade just bashing Nicki Minaj in so many interviews. She even sat on the Wendy Williams show in all black and said she wore all black because she was ending Nicki's career and that was her funeral. And she literally went on the Wendy Williams show saying that Nicki Minaj stopped her bag and Nicki Minaj was telling people not to work with her and was messing with her money. And it created this whole beef between her and Nicki. And then, to even top it off, there was actually a female rap unity event. And Remy Ma literally decided to perform her 7-minute diss track towards Nicki at this female rap unity event. And I'm so confused because I'm just like, if it's female rap unity, why are you performing a diss track towards another female rapper? That doesn't sound like female rap unity to me. And come to find out, around the time that she dropped the 7-minute diss track, a few female rappers actually came out publicly and said that Atlantic Records and other record labels were offering them around $200,000 to beef with Nicki and drop a diss track towards her. And the reason they wanted to do this is because the female rap industry was so saturated in one area. Nicki was the only one who was bringing in numbers for real, for real. Everybody else kind of had like a 2 or 3 year season versus Nicki. She's been staying in the game for 15 years now, and every single thing that she puts out, it outsells any other female rapper in the game. And a lot of these record labels did not like that because they wanted to have another Nicki Minaj. And they felt like the only way to do that is to get a female rapper to beef with her and start a diss track towards her. So a lot of people, including myself, were led to believe that Remy Ma was offered $200K from one of these record labels and she dropped this diss track. Because it just didn't make sense that you were showing Nicki love and saying that there was no problems with Nicki in every single interview up until you dropped the Sheether diss track. And now you're going on a bunch of interviews saying that you don't like Nicki, that she's stopping your bags and all this mess, right? So her beef with Remy, I understand why Nicki does not want to talk to Remy, or why Nicki never wants to work with Remy again, or even invite the opportunity for Remy to apologize or anything like that. Because, girl, you basically sold your soul. You got offered $200K or something to write a diss track towards Nicki when both of you had no issues to begin with. And it makes sense because Remy had just got out of jail around the time that she created this diss track. So she probably needed money. And she probably didn't know how to really skyrocket her music career. And she was probably sold some dream that she would be the next queen of rap. And that's when she went in and dropped this 7-minute diss track. Only for her to find out that they were going to kick her to the curb and use a Latina to do the job for them. Okay? And that's what brings me to her beef with Miss Belcules, also known as Cardi B. Okay? So Cardi B and Nicki's beef is a very interesting one. And the reason I say it's very interesting is because, honestly, a lot of people really painted Nicki as the villain here. And it just shows how good these blogs are at spinning a narrative. So I want to do a deep dive into this beef because we really need to talk about it, okay? So around the time when Cardi B was coming up, Nicki was showing love to Cardi B. And Cardi B was also showing love to Nicki. Okay? Cardi was constantly tweeting Nicki lyrics. And even Nicki would reply to her tweets and be like, I see no lies when Barty quotes Barbie. Hashtag win again. All that reaching gonna make you fuck around and pull a muscle. Hashtag Barbie tings. And even when Cardi B went #1 for her song Bodak Yellow, Nicki Minaj congratulated her as well. She literally made a tweet saying, and I quote, "Congratulations to my fella New Yaka on a new record-breaking achievement. Barty, this is the only thing that matters. Enjoy it." And Cardi B literally responded to her in a tweet and said, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It means a lot coming from you." So when Cardi B was coming up in the game and when she released Bodak Yellow and she had all these achievements, Nicki was showing love to Cardi B. There was no beef at all, okay? Until we got to Motorsport. Okay. So the thing with motorsport is a lot of blogs, including Everyday Struggle, which consisted of Joe Budden and academics, were insinuating that Nicki Minaj didn't know that Cardi B was going to be on the song. And the reason why they were saying this is because a lot of people felt like Nicki Minaj's verse on Motorsport was throwing shots at Cardi B. And a lot of blogs were spinning this narrative that Nicki Minaj didn't know that Cardi B was going to be on the song until it got released. And that's why she was throwing all those shots, because at first she thought that it was just her and Migos, and she didn't know that the person she was throwing shots at was going to be on the song. Nicki came out to defend herself. And she literally said the way Motorsport came about was it was supposed to be just her and Quavo on the song. Okay. And then Quavo reached out to her and asked her if Migos and Cardi B could jump on the song with them. And Nicki Minaj said, yep, let's do it. And that was how Motorsport came about. So she knew that Cardi was going to be on the song. There was no, oh, the song got released and she didn't know that Cardi was on it. No, she literally had to approve it and clear it before Cardi B could even hop on the song. Because let's think about it here. Nicki Minaj is not in a 360 deal. Nicki Minaj literally has so much freedom and power when it comes to her own music. Okay, so Nicki Minaj cannot have somebody on her song without her knowing. Okay, if any song gets released with Nicki Minaj on it, she has to clear it and approve it first before it even reaches the public. So that narrative was completely absurd, but a lot of people were running with this narrative because they wanted to paint her as some bad guy. And to make matters even worse, Cardi B started going in interviews saying that Nicki Minaj changed her verse on Motorsport. So it led a lot of people to believe that Nicki Minaj actually didn't know that Cardi B was going to be on the song because she ended up changing her verse. Even though that's completely false, because Nicki Minaj came out and cleared her name and said that Atlantic Records, which is Cardi B's label, requested that she remove Cardi B's name from the song. And Quavo also requested that she remove the singing part off of the song. And that's why she changed her verse. But a lot of people were running with this narrative that Nicki was denying that she changed her verse and, you know, she was just lying because she didn't know Cardi B was going to be on the song, and just creating this whole narrative that wasn't true. Because at the end of the day, Nicki never denied changing her verse, but she changed her verse per Cardi B and Quavo's request. Okay, and when you really look at the original version of the song, if Cardi the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi, that's not a diss. Nick Lombardi is a coach and QB is a position on a football team. So she was just saying, if Cardi the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi, which is very true. I mean, Nicki is the queen and Cardi B has looked up to her for many years. And Cardi B has made it known that Nicki was a huge inspiration for her. She was always posting videos of her singing to Nicki's lyrics. She was always posting quote tweets about it. And she was always showing love to Nicki and saying that Nicki was her biggest inspiration. So why is it wrong for Nicki to say, if Cardi the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi? That's not wrong. Like, how is that bad? That's not a diss. How is that a diss? It's literally the same as when Nicki Minaj called Ice Spice the princess of rap. Like, it's not a diss. It's literally, we didn't see that as a diss, but y'all see this as a diss. It's weird. But the media really wanted to spin this narrative that Nicki had it out for Cardi B when that was not true.
Clock it.
Especially when these girls did not have an issue. Just think about it. Nicki is showing love to Cardi B online. She's showing love to her on Twitter. Quavo comes to her and says, hey, can Cardi B hop on this song? And she's like, yep, let's do it. Why would there be any issues or beef between her and Cardi B for her to create a diss on a song that Cardi B is on when she knows Cardi B is on the song? And during this time, Sheether was still very hot and heavy in the streets. So a lot of the disses that Nicki Minaj was throwing in Motorsport was towards Remy Ma. It was not towards Cardi B. Like, why would she get on a song with Cardi B knowingly and then throw shots at her? And then a lot of people started also spinning this narrative that she had a beef with Cardi B because if you look at the music video, they filmed it at different times and there was no scenes where they were both together. But Nicki Minaj also came out and said that the reason they didn't get to film together was because of a scheduling issue, which always happens a lot when it comes to music videos and things in the music industry. Sometimes you may have an issue where your flight gets delayed and maybe one person is shooting one day and your flight is delayed, so you have to push back your shooting hours, and the person who is shooting maybe has to catch a flight in the next hour after they finish their verse. You never know. So the whole thing about, Nicki Minaj didn't know that Cardi was on the verse and that's why she changed her verse was completely false. That's not what happened. They requested that she change her verse and remove Cardi's name. So that's what she did. She removed Cardi's name. It was nothing about a beef or anything. But because Cardi B was signed to the record label that was actively trying to take Nicki Minaj down and was recently exposed for trying to pay other female rappers to write diss tracks towards Nicki, it made sense that Cardi B was running with this narrative. And it made Nicki look like the bad guy because she was the only person defending herself. And when she asked Quavo to defend her, he told her straight up no, because she's not his girl. Literally. So it was very, very weird because all these narratives were being spun about motorsport and about Nicki Minaj throwing shots at her when she clearly wasn't. And the reason they wanted this narrative to continue was because later on, Cardi B starts a whole fight with Nicki Minaj at the Harper Bazaar's event. Okay, she threw a shoe at her and she left that event looking ghetto with a huge knot on her head. All right. And after that event, Cardi B got online and she created this whole post saying, I've been silent for so long. You talked about my child. You talked about my hard work. And it's like, where is the evidence that Nicki Minaj ever talked about your child? To this day, no one can find any screenshots or any tweets or any phone calls where Nicki Minaj is trashing Cardi B's child. But the thing is, when Cardi B made this post saying, Nicki Minaj talked bad about my child and she's been trying to stop my bag and all that stuff, around that time, Remy Ma, Sheether, and her interviews were still very much alive and lingering on people's heads. So it was easy for a lot of people to just run with this narrative that Nicki was some sort of villain stopping bags, because not too long ago, Remy Ma got on Wendy Williams saying, she was trying to stop my bag. You know what I'm saying? So Cardi B had to make up something as to justify why she threw a shoe at Nicki Minaj, when in reality, there was no reason for her to do that. At the end of the day, when it came to motorsport, she did not diss you, okay? She knew you were going to be on the song. Quavo literally came to her before the song was even released. She was always showing love to you. There was no beef. Feel me? You just randomly threw a shoe at her at this show because your record label most likely told you to. And then you had to find a reason to justify why you got into this fight with her. So you started using common narratives that are already put on Nicki Minaj so the public can automatically believe you. Okay? So that's what happened. Literally. But Cardi B created this beef out of nothing, most likely because the record label that she signed to put her up to it. Okay? And the problem is they wanted to use Remy Ma to do this. And then once they found Cardi B, they were like, yeah, no, let's kick Remy to the curb because a Latina who can rap is definitely more marketable. And that can definitely help us defeat Nicki Minaj more than a dark-skinned rapper can. So, that whole beef was literally straight delusion. But a lot of these blogs knew how to spin a narrative and lead people to believe that Nicki Minaj was the problem in this Cardi B beef when that wasn't the case. Okay? So that beef was just a mess. And even going on to her other beef with Lotto. Child, her beef with Lotto was also something that I never understood why people painted her as the villain. So prior to this beef, Lotto was reaching out to Nicki Minaj trying to get a collab. But unfortunately, Nicki Minaj denied 2 features with Lotto, okay? And later on, the Grammys ended up putting up their nominations, okay? And at the time, Nicki Minaj had a song, Super Freaky Girl, that was solo. And they moved that song out of the rap category and put it in the pop category. And a lot of people felt like this was unfair because they only put this in the pop category so they can slim her chances of winning, because they knew that Super Freaky Girl was on the charts for a very long time. And if it was in the rap category, Nicki would have won. And the Grammys have a long lasting beef with Nicki Minaj. And if you guys want an episode on that, I'll film that one day. But the Grammys do not mess with Nicki. Okay. And they did not want to see her win an award. And they knew if they put Super Freaky Girl in the rap category, there was no denying that Nicki should win based on the stats and the song in general. So they moved that song to the pop category to slim her chances. Because now, if she's in the pop category, she's going to be competing against a bunch of huge white artists like Taylor Swift and Katy Perry, who have more of an advantage because, you know, white privilege. So Nicki Minaj came out and spoke about this publicly. And she basically just spoke about how the Grammys were trying to snub her of an award by moving her to the pop category. And she ended up mentioning Lotto's song Big Energy, because Big Energy was produced by the same person Super Freaky Girl was also produced by. And also, if you listen to Big Energy, that can constitute as a pop record as well. Okay, so Nicki Minaj was trying to use Lotto as an example, and she basically stated, if Big Energy is listed in the rap category, then why is Super Freaky Girl not in the rap category as well? If you're going to move Super Freaky Girl to the pop category, then you should also move Big Energy to the pop category as well, because those songs were produced by the same person and they both give the same vibe. Literally, if you listen to Big Energy, it has that poppy vibe with a little bit of rapping in it, and Super Freaky Girl is the same thing. But they decided to keep Big Energy in the rap category, but move Nicki Minaj's song to the pop category, which doesn't make sense. So she was clearly just using Lotto's song as an example. She was not trying to throw shots at Lotto. She was not trying to be mean to Lotto. She was using her song as an example. Okay. And people do that all the time. Literally.
Clock it.
For example, if you're applying to a college and you and your friend have the same SAT scores, you have the same GPA, but your friend ends up getting admitted and you end up getting on the waiting list, wouldn't you speak up and be like, why did I get on the waiting list, but this person got admitted when we have the same qualifications? There's nothing wrong with that. It's not like you're throwing shots at your friend, but you're just simply speaking on an inequality that's happening. There's nothing wrong with that. People do that all the time. We do that with racism conversations. We do that with colorism conversations all the time. So I don't know why people felt like Nicki Minaj was coming at Lotto for simply using her as an example. And in this moment, she was expecting Lotto to speak up on her behalf instead of crying and saying, oh my God, you're talking bad about me. Because from black woman to black woman, let's be real, Miss Lotto, white mama Lotto, you love to claim your black side, but this was a moment for you to actually defend another black woman in the same industry as you. And instead, you decided to be a grimy ass bitch. You decided to act like a Karen, and that's why you got called one. And that day, I was reminded that Lotto got a white mama. That day, I was reminded, because I was like, girl, why are you taking offense to this? There is no reason to take offense to it. But the thing is, when somebody wants to have a beef with you, they're going to find anything to justify their reason for not liking you. And in Lotto's case, she's been waiting to have a beef with Nicki Minaj. So when Nicki Minaj brought up Big Energy as an example, she wanted to use that as her opportunity to start an argument with Nicki Minaj and start a beef with her. So she got online crying, saying, "Oh my God, you're talking bad about me. You're saying mean things about my song," when that wasn't true. She was just using it as an example. And then, fast forward, Lotto ends up releasing a private phone call between her and Nicki Minaj. So we're going to play the phone call and just discuss it. But you could tell she was waiting for this beef because she had that private phone recording locked in her camera roll, ready to release that shit for the public to see. And when you think about it, someone who records a private phone call, they most likely don't have good motives, and they're waiting for you to say something out of pocket so that they can expose you. So let's get into the call, okay?
I've done nothing to you. Yeah, you are.
Something that is clearly delusional.
It's delusional to say that other girls are flourishing.
Something that's stupid and misinformed.
It's
I'm the one acting crazy.
It's delusional to say that other girls are flourishing.
Now, for some context, when you hear Lotto saying, "Oh, it's delusional to say other girls are flourishing," there was an interview that Lotto did where she was talking about the new age of female rap. And in the interview, she was like, for the longest time, it was just one female rapper. It was just Nicki Minaj and only Nicki Minaj. And now it's like all the female rappers are flourishing and they're all, instead of it just being Nicki and the other female rappers, now it's like Nicki and the other female rappers. And that was her hand motions. So she was implying that all the new female rappers were pretty much on the same level as Nicki Minaj. And for many years, it was just Nicki Minaj alone. And she was the only female rapper in the game winning. And everybody else was just non-existent or not doing anything, right? So just to provide you that context. And a lot of people just felt like, Lotto, like you're living in delusion. You're not on the same level as Nicki Minaj. Just because you got a #1 single or just because you've been popping off recently, that does not mean that all you new female rappers are on the same level as Nicki. Yes, all of you are flourishing, and that's great. But in that interview, she was implying that all the new female rappers were on the same level as Nicki, as if all the female rappers were on the same playing field, when that's not true. Nicki's in her own lane. Nicki raps better and washes out most male rappers on songs, okay? A lot of other female rappers cannot say the same, all right? And Nicki just has way too many years in the game and way too many accolades to be put on the same level as all these other female rappers. And I think that is fair for us to say. At the end of the day, we cannot sit here and discredit this woman's work for many years. We cannot sit up here and let female rappers that have only been in the game 2 years and barely sold 30K on their first week album sales to think that they're on the same level as Nicki Minaj. No. So in that interview, a lot of people were clocking Lotto for that because it's like, girl, don't make it seem like you and Nicki are all on the same level just because all these female rappers are flourishing. Yes, y'all are flourishing, but you're still not at that level with Nicki yet. And it's okay for us to acknowledge that. I don't care. Sorry, but let's continue the call. Sorry, I just wanted to provide you context. So, but yeah, let's continue.
Recognize we weren't giving the platforms that we're being given right now. And I give you props all the time in every other interview for opening the door for that to be a possibility now.
Okay. So, in conclusion, what do you think you wanna say about? Let's let you finish your statement about what rappers were doing before and what they're doing now. I want you to finish it.
I finished it, Nicki.
Okay.
I said at For a long time, it was you.
It was me.
Yes,
So
and
you didn't do your research.
What
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have somebody send you the information about all the women in the last 10 years who have had Billboard recognition, worldwide global recognition, since you are clearly putting yourself above these people.
Now, I want to speak on what Nicki just said. Because for some reason, Nicki was painted as a bad guy for saying this, when in reality, for a bunch of people who call Nicki a hater and say that she's not a girl's girl, in this phone call, it sounds like Nicki is trying to give other female rappers their recognition and their props. Lotto is claiming that for many years, Nicki Minaj was the only female rapper out. And Nicki is trying to explain to Lotto in this phone call that you're clearly misinformed. And even though I was the most successful female rapper all these years, I wasn't the only one achieving things. There were other female rappers during my time who had a lot of accolades and who were making a lot of moves in the rap industry. For example, Iggy Azalea, Missy Elliott, the list goes on. So Nicki in this moment is trying to explain to Lotto that you can't go around saying that I was the only female rapper out when that's not true. There were other female rappers making moves and you need to give them their recognition. Because when you get on an interview and you say, oh, for the longest it was just Nicki and now it's all of us, it's as if you're putting yourself above all the other female rappers who were in Nicki's time or before you in a way. It's like you're acting like Missy Elliott doesn't exist. You're acting like Iggy Azalea doesn't exist, you know? So Nicki is trying to educate her and trying to tell her that you still got to give recognition to all the greats before you, because I'm not the only legend before you. There's other legends before you who were succeeding during my time as well. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why people tried to paint Nicki as the bad guy for saying that. There is nothing wrong with what she just said. Literally. And if anything, that's her being a girl's girl. Because she's trying to make sure that everybody gets their recognition. Literally. But for some reason, Nicki was the bad guy for saying that. Whatever. But let's continue.
No, I'm not. That's the purpose I can't even think of the word. Like, just purposely trying not to understand.
And just to let you know what we're dealing with here, this girl could not even say misinterpreted.
I mean, okay. Understand what I'm saying.
You don't even understand what you're saying because see.
No, I know exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it was you running shit for a long time. I never said that you're no longer running shit. I said there are other females flourishing. What is the problem with that?
The hard way. You're going to have to learn the real world and the industry.
Well, I love you and I will, regardless, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to support you from the sidelines. I feel from the sidelines, because I can't do it publicly when someone is literally subtweeting me for no reason, purposely trying to
And to get into these subtweets that Lotto is bringing up, that was literally her just making up shit in her head, okay? Lotto actually brought up a bunch of the subtweets that she claimed Nicki was saying about her, and it was confirmed that Nicki was literally talking about other TikTokers that were making think pieces about her and her family or were trashing her online. She was never ever talking about Lotto at all, okay? It was proven that she was talking about fan pages that were hating on her, and she was talking about TikTokers. So Lotto pulled that shit right out of her ass. But again, when somebody's looking to beef with you, and when somebody feels guilty about something that they did to you, or whatever the case may be, anything that you do, they gonna see it as, oh shit, she throwing shots at me. You ever had that? You ever post quote tweets on your Instagram and somebody that's guilty of doing something to you, or somebody that doesn't like you automatically thinks that all your posts is about them, and it's like, girl, I'm not even thinking about you. But why you think that it's about you? It's like when JT released Sideways And Carisha came out like, oh, you're making songs about me. You're talking about me. Why you think I'm talking about you? It sounds like you trying to tell on yourself now. It sounds like you feel a little bit guilty about something. Right? Right. But let's continue.
Interpret what I'm saying. I respect you too much to go back and forth with you. So I appreciate you for getting on the phone with me. And
it's like, girl, you respect her too much, but you're recording a private phone call and releasing it to the public without her permission. But you respect her too much. Lotto, you're full of shit. You've always been full of shit. And this is why I don't like your ass. But let's continue.
The song lyric was recorded last year, way before any of this. And I cannot... Yeah, you said... Because you just said I like to say is...
And another thing. A lot of people were also saying... Oh, well, Nicki Minaj was trashing her song on Big Energy because on the phone call, she said, I don't care about your little song lyric. If you listen to the context of this phone call, Lotto is trying to insinuate that Nicki Minaj is mad at a specific song lyric. Okay? So Nicki Minaj is trying to tell her, girl, I'm not worried about no song lyric. I'm not mad at that. That's not where my frustration is. That's all she was saying. So when she said, I'm not worried about no song lyric, that's not her saying, I don't like your songs, or you're a bad artist, or you don't know how to write songs. That's not what she was saying. It's as if I come to you and I'm like, oh my gosh, the song that I made, it wasn't about you. And you're like, girl, I'm not worried about that song. Like, I'm not thinking about that. That's not what I'm mad about. I'm mad because you stole my earrings. It's like, oh, okay, that's why you're mad. So it's like, I don't know why people try to spin it as if like Nicki was trying to trash her music by saying, I don't care about your little song lyric. She was saying that I'm not mad about that. I'm not worried about no song lyric. I'm not thinking about that. My frustration is somewhere else. I don't know why you're bringing up a song lyric that I don't care. I don't care about that. It's not her trashing her music. She's just telling her, I'm not mad about a song lyric. I don't know what you're talking about. I have a different frustration that has nothing to do with your song lyric. That's what she's saying. I don't know. Like, does the world not have brain cells? I don't know. But let's continue.
Given though, it's given bar was nothing. It didn't have nothing to do with you.
And it's not going to benefit you. You understand? If people around you cared about you, they would have told you that's not going to benefit you.
What's not going to benefit me?
Let me go. I have to do a Zoom. I'll hit you back. Thank you.
And she let her know right in that phone call, it's not going to benefit you. Because let's be real, Nicki has been through this a lot. What Lotto just did, trust me, there have been many female rappers before Lotto trying to set Nicki up. She already knew what was going on. And that's when she told Lotto, whatever you're trying to stir up right now, whatever you're trying to do, it's not going to benefit you. You're trying to stir up some beef because your record label most likely told you to do that. Because a lot of female rappers think that if they beef with Nicki Minaj, then they can get a bunch of Nicki haters on their side and then their music will start selling. But it's a temporary love. Because the minute a new Nicki hater comes out, all the mutual haters are going to go fuck with them and forget about you. And the thing with Lotto is she was doing great in her career and she was getting a lot of love until this. And like Nicki said, it did not benefit you. It didn't. Because look at you now. You can't even sell over 30K on your first week album sales. Every single song you released after this Nicki beef flopped horribly. And the thing about Lotto, it's really sad because you are extremely talented. And I would rank you top 5 in terms of rap talent in the female rap game. And it's sad that you can't even sell or chart because you decided to be a grimy ass bitch and nobody in the industry trusts you anymore because you decided to record a private phone call and release it to the public. Is that not grimy? I'm sorry. And it's like, I don't know why people were painting Nicki as the bad guy in this situation. Like, who's weirder? The person trying to educate a younger sister or the person recording a private phone call trying to provoke her to say something bad so she can paint her as a villain? and create a bad narrative. Let's be for real. Like, I don't understand why Nicki is the bad guy here. Lotto was clear. The minute I found out Lotto recorded a phone call without telling Nicki, I already knew Lotto was the weird one. Anybody that records a phone call without your knowledge and then releases it to the public was trying to plan something or had a vendetta against you. And they were trying to provoke you to say something out of pocket so they can ruin your career. Literally. I did not understand that. I did not. And it's like, the Nicki hate is so strong. A lot of people really don't pay attention to detail, and they don't logically assess things when they look at these beefs. As soon as they see that a female rapper doesn't like Nicki Minaj because their hate is so strong for Nicki, they automatically believe it without even looking at any logic or reasoning. Seriously. Because I still to this day do not understand how people thought that Nicki was in the wrong in this situation. I can't. My brain cells cannot put it together. I can't. I think. And at the end of the day, Lotto regrets it. She went on interviews later on basically insinuating that she regretted doing that. And she regrets beefing with Nicki. And yeah, anyone does. Anyone does. It's temporary love, babe. But anyways, I'm going to get into the next beef because if I keep talking about Lotto, my blood pressure is going to get high because she really do piss me off. But the next beef that I want to get into is her beef with Megan Thee Stallion. Now, this beef was super interesting to me because one thing about Megan, she really does have the public on her side, and the public paints Megan to be some innocent girl who can do no wrong. And it's like, Megan is very, very fake and grimy, okay? Like, as soon as I found out what happened with the Tory case and how she fucked her best friend's man behind her back for months, baby, that was it for me. Megan is not a girl's girl, but the public loves to paint her as a girl's girl. I don't know why. But her beef with Nicki Minaj was very interesting to me because the first time they met on Instagram Live. I don't know if y'all remember that meme that goes around about Nicki where she's like, boobs is out, boom, ass is out, hit it, 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 ooh, then out, it, ass is out, it, ooh, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. But that was from her live with Megan Thee Stallion, actually. And when they were on live, they clicked. Like, it looked like they would be the bestest of friends. Like, it was a really good live, okay? But Megan was being messy on this live. And she was throwing shots at a specific female rapper in this live. So I want to play a little clip so we can get into it. Okay?
One motherfucking wrong thing. I'm gonna go right some shit.
Okay, so you need to stop because anything I say that I just be having to stay calm.
No, see, because
no, I know, but from you it's fine.
I'm finna go right some shit. Who you think she was talking about there? Who is the only female rapper that does not write her lyrics? Oh, yes, you're right. Miss Belcules, also known as Cardi B. So Megan Thee Stallion was trying to be messy in this live. Talking about something, I'm finna go write some shit. Trying to throw shots at Cardi B. And you can tell in this live, Nicki was like, don't do that, don't do that. I'm not trying to get into no mess. I'm not trying to get into no beef. Nothing. I'm trying to steer clear of drama, okay? But Megan kept being messy. Talking about something, I'm finna go write some shit. But okay. I'm not mad at Megan right now. Because it's like, it's true. I mean, Cardi B, you do not write your raps. I'm sorry. You get a lot of credit for not doing a lot of shit. No offense. So I ain't mad at Megan. Because Megan is a very good rapper. And she writes her shit. So I can't be mad at her for throwing this diss. Now, what I can be mad at is the following events after this. Okay? Because the thing is, right after she throws shots at Cardi B in this, she goes and gets a Nicki feature. Right? And her and Nicki are hanging out. And she does something very weird to Nicki. Okay? So basically, Nicki was trying to have a baby, but she hadn't told the public yet. And when her and Megan were filming their music video, they went on Instagram Live. And before they went live, Nicki told Megan, I'm trying to have a baby with my family, so I'm not going to be drinking. So I'm just letting you know now, like, I'm not drinking. And if we go on live, like, don't pass me a drink or anything, because I didn't even tell the public yet that I'm trying to have a baby. And that's very understandable. Nicki is very famous and she has a lot of haters. So she's not trying to have negative energy come towards her while she's trying to literally bring life into this world, you know? So some things people just want to keep private. And a lot of celebrities normally get pregnant and they don't tell us until the baby pops out of their coochie. So it was understandable that Nicki told her this. But Megan did not respect her wishes. Because even after Nicki told her behind the scenes that she's not drinking, as soon as they went on Instagram Live, guess what Megan does? She starts pressuring her to drink in front of all of Nicki's fans. Take a look at this video.
First of all, let's get back on the topic of Nicki thinks she's not about to draw the vote. We're gonna hashtag make Nicki draw the vote 2019.
I'm really not.
That's what we're gonna do.
You see how she's pressuring her to drink in front of all of her fans? And it puts Nicki on the spot, because if Nicki doesn't drink, then her fans are going to be like, Nicki, why aren't you drinking? Are you trying to have a baby? And then her secret is revealed. Something that she was trying to keep private. And then if she does drink, then, you know, she kind of ruins her chances of trying to have a baby. And if later she pops out with the child, people are going to accuse her of being an alcoholic while she was having a baby. So Megan was trying to set her up this way. Okay, and Nicki even spoke on it. Continue to watch.
Woman clearly was jealous from the moment. I was so confused. I always feel genuinely happy for someone when I see them in love, and especially when a woman is trying to have a baby or decides that they're gonna have children. Even on camera, after I tried to tell her off camera, hey, no, I can't do that, I'm not drinking, you know. Because look, this is how vicious she is. She also commented on like an Instagram post saying something again about me drinking liquor. And I was like, hey, like I told you, don't say that, da 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 da. Like, I wasn't drinking liquor, and so why are you saying that? So it was all odd, very odd. And I have the text messages in my phone, Bigfoot.
And it was very odd. Imagine you tell your friend, hey, like, I'm trying to have a baby, so I'm not drinking. And they're just pressuring you to take a shot. That's disrespectful, especially when you're trying to do it publicly, when I haven't even told the world yet. So you're putting me on the spot. So Megan was trying to set her up. And listen, after Megan got her Nicki feature and she did this grimy shit, guess what she went ahead and did? She went ahead and collabed with Cardi B. The same girl that she was just throwing shots at on Instagram Live with Nicki. She was just subbing Cardi B on Instagram Live with Nicki, talking about something. I'm finna go write some shit. But now that you got your Nicki feature, you want to go collab with Cardi B. Is that not grimy? Is that not weird? But I'm not surprised, because like I said, Megan's history when it comes to friendships and women in general, she has no loyalty or morals. She will literally fuck your man in your face while she's best friends with you. Literally. So that was already weird in itself. And after all of this happened, Megan kind of went on a hiatus because, you know, she had like the Tory case that was going on and all that stuff. And then when she finally came back into the music game, she released a song where she made a lyric dissing Nicki Minaj's husband. She said, "Don't be mad at Megan, be mad at Megan's Law." And for those of you who are unaware, Megan's Law has to do with like sexual assault or like sex offenders or something like that. And Nicki Minaj's husband is a registered sex offender. Now, a lot of people like to judge her for her choice in the man she wanted to marry and have a child with. I did look at the case, and that woman who accused him of sexual assault, she admitted to lying later on.
Of limitations on perjury. Perjury is when you lie under oath, and regardless if I made a statement or didn't make a statement, that is the reason why I stood up in court and I said, when a judge asks, like, yo, does anybody have anything to say before he is sentenced? I stood up and I said, Your Honor, I'm the person who pressed the charges. I would like to drop the charges. I made a huge mistake.
Wow.
This was like, I'm in court in front of his family, in front of friends, in front of everybody, like whatever. And they was like, take it to the DA, and nobody wanted to hear shit.
Because he probably didn't have a paid lawyer at that time. Because you recanted your story, you told him it never happened, XYZ, you was young, you was pressured, correct, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, yeah, babe, I'm talking. Yeah, so that's probably why they was so thirsty, because they knew the case would have fell through the roof. Because if you'd have said that on the stand.
They never called me to the stand. They never questioned.
Because I said the wrong thing. So I made it clear when Nicki Minaj called me, when I spoke to her on the phone, she didn't call me and threaten me. Kenneth Petty didn't call me and threaten me.
Oh, what? Wait! Huh? Girl.
And he was already convicted. Is the thing. He was already convicted. She just started speaking up about it publicly as soon as he got with Nicki Minaj. And a lot of people do not understand that. This girl already had her case settled. He already received his punishment years ago. Okay? But if you really look deep in the case, it was one of those cases where it was like he didn't really have enough money for an attorney, so he took a plea. And the funny thing is, it's funny how the black community loves to talk about how, you know, black people are unfairly put in incarceration systems. But when it came to Nicki's husband, that just flies right out of their mind. And they're like, no, he deserved it. When you guys don't know the facts. If you look at the case, a lot of it was just he couldn't afford an attorney to really fight his case. So he just took a plea, which is what a lot of young brothers do. And I know a lot of men that are in jail because a bitch lied. I don't even want to get into it, but I know a lot of men that are in jail because a girl lied and they just took a plea because they could not afford an attorney. Like, I just feel like people don't look at logic with this. How is it that he was convicted like 20 plus years ago and now you want to speak up about it as soon as he's marrying Nicki? You've been silent about it for years. He was already convicted. You already got your justice. But you still want to talk about the situation now that he's marrying an international superstar. It sounds like you were looking for a bag. You were looking for hush money. Like, let's be for real. Let's be for real. You know? But either way, Megan was throwing shots at Nicki for marrying a sex offender. Okay? So, Nicki, in her own right, got mad because you're coming for my husband, the father of my children, and I'm not fucking with that. So Nicki came out and made a song called Bigfoot. And contrary to what the public says, Nicki won that rap beef. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Listen, Megan, all she said was one lyric. Don't be mad at Megan, be mad at Megan's Law. If you listen to Bigfoot, and I actually know all the words by heart, you will come to realize Nicki ate that girl up. She had so much tea. Like, how you fuck your mother man when she died? We did not know that Megan fucked her mom's man after she died. And that sounds like something Megan would do, judging by her history. Okay? how you go on Gayle King and can't cry. I mean, I don't know how you were able to go on Gayle King and speak on a traumatic experience and you could not cry. I mean, y'all see me when I get up on here and I just speak about stuff that traumatically hurt me in the past. I get to tearing up. So I don't know. But you know, why did you lie about your lipo? Fucking your best friend, man, is crazy. You the type, though. I mean, why did she lie about her lipo? Because she do be online acting like she's a fitness guru and she got lipo. So, I mean, I'm sorry. Nicki won that beef. She put way too many bars and way too much tea and way too many shots. Megan had one line only. That's it. That whole entire Bigfoot song was a shot. Every single one. And the wordplay was insane. So, we're not going to sit here and act like Megan won that beef over Megan's Law. Come on. Let's not even do that today. I don't like delusion. So let's not do it today. Please. For me. Okay? So, you know, she released Bigfoot and she ate her up. She did. Okay? And, you know, the public still was on Megan's side because Megan kind of has the sympathy vote based on her past and her past experiences and stuff. So a lot of people were fucking with Megan even though Bigfoot was clearly a better song. And, you know, a lot of people paint Nicki to be the bad guy because she released Bigfoot. And I don't understand why. This is rap. This is rap. I'm sorry, but when Cardi B came in the game, she kind of changed the trajectory on how female rap really is. But female rap has always been competitive. It has always been about writing your own raps. And it has always been about sending diss tracks to people, not getting on Twitter to diss people. Okay? So because she released Bigfoot, everybody was like, oh my God, Nicki is a villain. She's so mean. Why would she do that to Megan? Megan literally dissed her in the song. What did y'all want her to do? You wanted her to get on Twitter and rant about it? You wanted her to go throw a shoe at Megan the way Cardi B did Nicki? Like, what did y'all want her to do? This is rap. Nicki knows how to rap. So, you diss me in a song, I'ma diss you in a song. And everyone's like, oh, well, she dissed Megan and she was talking about her dead mom. She never, ever said anything bad about her mom. She said you lied on your dead mama. That's not saying anything bad about your mom. She didn't say your mom's a bitch. She didn't say your mom doesn't deserve respect. She didn't say, I hope your mom rolls in her grave. She said you lied on your dead mama. She's actually trying to show respect to Megan's mom because what she's saying is your mama is dead and you went on Gayle King talking about some on my mama when in reality it really wasn't on your mama. It wasn't true. Not all of it. And you did lie on your dead mom. You did. It's as if somebody tells you, it's like when you're in a relationship and your boyfriend's like, I didn't cheat on you, on my mama. And you find the screenshots and he did cheat on you. And you're like, this nigga has no morals. He just lied on his dead mom. He talking about something on my mama. On my dead mama, I did not cheat on you. But you're looking at the screenshots of him fucking another girl or trying to get in her DMs. So, I don't know why people try to spin it like, oh, Nicki was talking bad about her mom. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. She literally just said, like, you did lie on your dead mom. That's disrespectful to your mother. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, and at the end of the day, if Megan threw shots at her, it's only fair for Nicki to throw shots at her as well. I don't see the issue here. You know, but female rap has become so sensitive as soon as Cardi B came in the game. Because now, you know, girls don't got to write their raps no more. Girls get scared and use sympathy and payola all the time to increase their sales instead of talent. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sorry. I may sound insensitive, but I'm not being insensitive. This is rap. This is rap. And at the end of the day, shortly after, Drake and Kendrick got into a huge beef. Nobody called them mean or bullies. People let them beef. Because in male rap, people understand. You diss me in a song, I'ma diss you. This is rap. But in female rap, everybody's so sensitive. everybody want to act like a diss record is Nicki Minaj bullying somebody. I don't get it. I don't get it. I will never get it. I will never get it. So this beef with her and Megan, I understand why she don't want to rock with Megan. How you get on live with me talking shit about a person and then you use me for a feature and then you go collab with said person. And that happens to be my op. I don't understand that. Like, we need to stop living in delusion and really look at the situation. That is weird. Like, if we take all these celebrities out of every single one of these beasts and we just look at it objectively, you will realize that Nicki was not in the wrong for the most part. And a lot of these bitches are just weird. Weird. And at the end of the day, when it comes to a lot of Nicki beefs and all these female rappers not liking her, a lot of the time, it's really just strictly off of jealousy because a lot of them cannot sell as much as her. And a lot of them are just mad because they either can't get a feature out of her. So when Nicki gets painted as a villain and people say, oh, she's always falling out with people, I understand when your discernment is on point and you're really, really, really gifted in something. It's very easy to attract jealous people who do not like you simply because they cannot be you. Or they don't like you because they cannot be close in proximity to you and reap the benefits of your gift. It's as simple as that. And I relate so hard. Like, when I tell you, I'm not even trying to toot my own horn here, but when it comes to my podcast, I started a year ago. And I'm already at about 9,000 subscribers, which is very impressive for somebody who doesn't pay for ads and for somebody who paid $25 for the sign and I record on an iPhone and I edit everything by myself. I'm just saying, that's very impressive. I know a lot of people who have to pay editors, who have to pay a cameraman, who have to pay models to be in their video or pay even people to come speak on their podcast. I don't need that. I literally don't need that. I just need myself and an iPhone and I'm making quality stuff. And a lot of people get jealous of that to the point where they simply start hating on me simply because they try to do the same thing that I'm doing and they copy me, but the pace is not the same. And they resort to hating on me for it. Or even people getting mad at me because I won't let them be a guest on my podcast. I have so many people who literally resorted to hating on me because they asked me to be a guest on my podcast and I told them no. I kid you not. Like, even when it comes to me in school, I have a lot of people who dislike me because I graduated college 2 years early, debt free. Like, they literally get mad at me for it because in their situation, they're deep in debt or they're still in school. They dropped out. So they feel like I think that I'm all that because I graduated college 2 years early, debt free. And because I think I'm all that, they resorted to not liking me. Like, it's like, I'm telling you, when you're really gifted at something, it's very easy to attract jealousy and people who just hate on you just cause, or they hate on you because they can't get close to you or they can't reap the benefits of your gift. It's a really prominent thing. So yeah, like when it comes to Nicki, like I really do relate to her when it comes to that, honestly, because people really will hate you simply because they cannot be you or because they can't be close in proximity to you and they can't reap the benefits of your gift. I'm telling you. And when it comes to being a powerhouse like Nicki, she has literal labels trying to take her down. And they're literally offering people money so that they can take her down. You feel me? So, me personally, I relate to Nicki a lot. And I do feel bad that people paint her as some villain because I don't think that she's a villain at all. Honestly, I don't think that she thinks she's above anybody. I mean, shit, when I graduated college, she commented on my Instagram picture. She do not think that she above people. Like, she doesn't. She showed love to a person who is not a celebrity and not a star at all. She just saw that I tagged her and she was like, oh, okay, I see you. And she congratulated me. Like, people are not really in tune with who Nicki Minaj is because people just listen to blogs and they listen to a lot of these spun narratives about her. And you got to understand, a lot of these blogs, like, These people go to college to learn how to manipulate a narrative. I'm not even kidding. It's a whole major. Like, so these people who are creating these blogs, they can get you to believe anything. Literally, that's their job. All they got to use is the proper propaganda and the proper words to get you to believe anything. So I wanted to speak on this because I just keep seeing, you know, I've even had friendships that I had to end because a lot of my old friendships, like, they would try to, like, bash me for loving Nicki Minaj. And I'm just like, yeah, I like her. And I actually relate to her when people make her a villain. People do the same thing to me all the time. You know, when you're really great at something, it's easy to fall out with a lot of people because a lot of people will be jealous of your greatness. It's as simple as that. So, and if I'm going to be completely honest, the villain that y'all make Nicki Minaj out to be is really what Cardi B is. Okay? Because if you do a deep dive on Cardi B, that woman has called black people monkeys and roaches. And she's literally paid 2 men to beat up 2 black women because Offset slept with them. That sounds like a villain to me. Nicki Minaj has never done any of that stuff. Any of that stuff. But the minute Nicki defends herself, oh, she's a villain, she's bitter. You know, a lot of people don't realize they put a lot of black woman stereotypes on Nicki Minaj for her simply defending herself. And it's just crazy to me, you know. But at the end of the day, Nicki is always going to win. She's always going to stay on top. And I see why all these female rappers are jealous, because if we look at female rap right now, if you combine all the new female rappers' album sales, you'll notice that they sold less than Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday 2 combined. So Lotto, Sexy Red, Ice Spice, and Megan, all of their album sales combined still sold less than Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday 2. And this is with no music video, by the way. Okay? And they still sold less than her on her first week. All of them combined. So that just tells you how female rap is looking right now. A lot of these labels were working so hard to replace Nicki, but they forgot that you can only win with real, raw talent. And y'all have been signing girls that do not have real, raw talent. They just have Instagram followers. And it's because they felt like Cardi B was a success. And because Cardi B was more of a personality than a rapper, they started following that same pattern with other female rappers. And they forgot that at the end of the day, you'll never be able to beat real talent and hard work. So even after this hate train, Nicki Minaj is still selling and still doing amazing and still the best female rapper of all time. Point blank, period. And I'm sorry, you can never replace Nicki. You can never replace her. That's one thing people got to get through their head. I don't care how many female rappers come out. No one will ever be able to take the crown from her. No one will ever be able to replace the amount of work that she has put in. She has given us timeless songs, okay? Even if you don't like Nicki, there's at least one Nicki song that you can refer to that brings you back to a certain memory. Point blank, period. Whether it's Starships, we're meant to fly, hands up and touch the sky. Or even, people will love you and support you when it's beneficial. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's so many songs that Nicki has that has created so many memories for us, okay? Like, she's literally the queen, but there's no replacing her. And the quicker people realize that, the more sane and the more grounded they'll be. Because you will go insane trying to beat Nicki Minaj. And that's what a lot of these female rappers ended up realizing. You will go insane trying to beat a rapper who has been in the game 15 years. You will go insane. You putting so many high standards on yourself. Even Cardi B. Like, this girl is scared to drop an album because she's scared to flop and she's scared that she's going to sell less than Nicki. Why are you putting that expectation on yourself? Nicki is the greatest. A lot of y'all cannot put that expectation of being the greatest because you don't have the years of experience or the accolades or the skill. And comparing yourself to Nicki is not going to do you any good. So, you know. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Shakira, aka Barbie 2.0. And I do talk about colorism, texturism, and featurism and any issues in the Black community. But I also am a heavy barb. So, you know, frequently I do make videos about Nicki Minaj, Nicki Lewinsky, Nicki the Ninja, Nicki the Boss, Nicki the Harajuku Bobby. Like, I mean, I don't even know why these girls bother at these points. Like... All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry. But yeah. So anyways, I will see you guys very soon. And I love you guys so much. Besos.